What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, stock car, steel, and aluminum, along with them Draco Springs. Our buddy Randy Keene over there, Arcade Motorsports Consulting, Earl Raymond Racing Engines. What is going on, y'all? I'm David.
I'm Sterling. What's up, y'all?
And also, we got our other part-time co-host on here today, Mr. Joey Coulter. Joey, what is up, man?
Oh, I'm just, if I get any more of these part-time deals together, I'm going to have to make a full-time gig out of something.
There you go.
Part-time driver coach, part-time race car driver, part-time radio host.
There you Well, I know which one pays the least, so it's okay.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Oh, man. Where are you driving to?
I am starting my trek back to Texas. We've I guess we've had enough of the East Coast humidity, so we're gonna go get us some dry 114 degree heat. And, go back to that for a little bit.
I don't know whether to congratulate you for that or to say good luck. I don't know. I don't really know.
I'll let you know when I get there.
There you go. There you go. Well, man, how was everybody's fourth? How was your fourth, Sterling?
It was good, man. Yeah, it was. We got out on the boat a little bit on Saturday and finally had some good, decent weather. We could do that, and we rode about 180, 200 miles. So it was a good long day. About 12 hours on the water. So that was good. It wasn't too overcrowded. So which is kind of surprising for the coastal waterway,
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach, but it was good. We had a good time, and yesterday went to church and went down and saw some family and down in Conway and got to pop some fireworks and good old time, you know. Good
old time, Joe. We know you spent part of your weekend at the racetrack, but the rest of your 4th of July weekend there, how did it go?
It was good. Got to hang out with our old neighbors from when we lived here in Concord, or back there in Concord. But it was fun. My 5-year-old daughter, she I think that's about the most fireworks she's ever seen in a 36 to 72 hour period. She's fireworked out, and I think I'm gonna have to cut the ice cream off for the next couple weeks. She had plenty of that too. So no, it was great. It was cool to have everybody at the racetrack Saturday night. That was the first race that my youngest daughter, she'll be 5 months old next week. That's the first time she's been to the racetrack. So that was cool to have both girls and my wife there, and then have a halfway decent run. So
there you go.
Weekend.
There you go. So you have you spent a couple weeks here on the East Coast now, and that's been productive for you.
Oh yeah. That's what I was telling my friend. Every time I make a trip back here, I always tell myself, man, you gotta plan it better so you got more time to really get everything done. And I was so proud of myself because I felt like, we were going to be here for 2 weeks. I was going to be able to get a lot done. My wife was going to be able to get a lot done. Kids were going to have a good time. Like, it's all kind of working. I still ran out of time. So I've broken that track record, I guess. But no, it's been good. I got to spend a lot of time with the dirt team, and working on some new stuff we're going to try to develop moving forward, and then obviously getting to play around on the pavement and not blow through tear-offs was awesome. It was real productive, and we got to hang out with a bunch of friends and some family too, so it all worked out.
That's always a good time. That's always great. Well, let me tell y'all what I did Saturday night. I've done this a few times myself, but Saturday night was it wasn't any different really, I guess you say, but it was just it's like every time I do it, it gets more interesting. My parents, as I've said a few times on here, they run a campground down here at Santee Lake, Santee Cooper. And here for the past, I don't know, what is it, Sterling, probably 5-6 years?
Yeah, probably so.
I've gone down there. We own a little DJ business on the side that we're trying to get out of, kind of. But I've gone down there, and we either DJ'd or played some guitar and sang a little bit. So they asked me to go down there and sing some. I was like, oh, fun. Here we go. And I haven't done this in about a year. So I went down there and I played and played and played for probably 3 hours down there. I had a set list. I might as well throw that out the window though, because
figured.
as soon as I started playing, everybody started play some Skinner, play Freebird.
Jesus.
I had one boy that just kept yelling "Neon Moon" by Brooks and Dunn. He just yelled that all night. That was finally the last song I played. I just made him keep yelling it all night. So it was interesting. There was an interesting crowd.
Oh,
down
for
there
sure.
too.
You got a little bit of everything down there, man.
It was it was different to say the least. But no, it was fun. Everybody seemed to have fun. As always, I like the first half of the night because I just kind of play some music. DJ some music, I guess you'll say. I push buttons anyway. I don't really do all the mad DJ skills all these people got, but I push buttons and play music. And the kids get out there. There was probably 20 kids. I mean, little kids, probably 8 and under. There was probably 20 of them this time. They just out there dancing, having a big old time. So
that's what it's all about.
That's always fun. And then all of a sudden it gets dark and people start drinking a lot more.
Yeah. And I don't know where they come from. There's some of them look like they come from the woods. I
think they just come up out that lake somewhere. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's something else. So it was fun. Then we went down there and me and my family hung out with Sterling's family Sunday and headed to the beach and ate some sliders and some hot dogs and all that fun stuff and watched the fireworks. That was fun. So anyway, I reckon let's get to the racetrack. Joey, you spent Saturday up there at Caraway Speedway up there in the Smart Tour Modified. Had a good run, man. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it worked out great. We ended up finishing third, which I was real happy with. I felt like if we'd have put together a little bit cleaner part of the race in the beginning, I think we would have been in position to fight for the win. But I blame it on myself. I wanted to be a little bit freer than I think I really should have been. Like the lesson learned for me was I was probably better off being a 3 or 4 tight in the middle rather than a 1 or 2 loose. But for some reason, I was thinking when everything cooled off and the greasiness kind of went away, I was going to get a little bit more side bite through the middle, but it never came back even when it cooled way off. So I just ran the first half to 2/3 of the race just way too loose and burn up my right rear tire early. But we made an adjustment. We had a late caution with about 25 or 30 to go, I think. And came in, got our right rear tire, pulled the spring rubber, and went back out there. And I think we restarted 7th or 8th, and was able to drive back up to 3rd. So had a really good car. I think we were one of the quicker ones at the end, but just had a bit too much to deal with at the end of the race because the first half just wasn't as strong as it should have been.
There you go. I know we kind of touched on a little bit last time, but let's just say for you, for instance, and I know you had a test day to go out and kind of get reacclimated to the modified there, but is that is there a big acclimation period for you, or is it kind of something just comes second nature? And when you're coming from throwing that super late model down in the corner and driving on the right rear, something serious and learning how to, or not learning, but going back to backing up this corner and not killing that right rear, like you said.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Harold Holly today. I was at my dirt shop a little bit before I hit the road, just tying up some loose ends. But I was talking to him about it, and I said, man, I really don't think I would have took to these modifieds if I hadn't dirt raced. Because I think just dirt racing for as much as I have over the last few years, my scale in my head of what's good, what's a lot of grip and what isn't a lot of grip has gotten skewed to the point where in those dirt late models, I'm used to going really fast with no grip. When I get in that modified, I'm going really fast and I have a lot of grip. So it's kind of like it's like a sensory overload for me. Like, I'm feeling all kinds of stuff that I don't think I wouldn't be able to feel, if I wasn't used to getting that information out of a dirt car. So I think the dirt has helped it a huge amount. Like I don't think I would have been able to jump in those cars and go fast without the dirt racing.
I agree with that, and then just watching it, I agree 100% with that. And I remember back when me and Sterling were younger, racing go-karts and stuff, a lot of people always said, if you can learn to drive on dirt, you will be a really smooth asphalt driver. And it really seems like that. Guys that have grown up on dirt and moved to asphalt, they seem to be relatively smooth and really fast most of the time.
Mhm. Yeah, I've always, now that I've done dirt racing, I grew up not doing it. Like I never got in a dirt car till I was 21, I think. So I raced for, almost 10 years before I ever got on dirt. But man, I wish I'd have done it earlier, because I feel like now, obviously I'm experience is experience, but I really do feel like I'm a totally different driver now because of the dirt cars than what I was. I'd love to be able to go back and kind of slap the 2012, 2013 version of me in the head a little bit and see what happens.
We'd all love to slap the 2013 version of ourselves in the head. Well, cool, man. Well, we haven't really talked to you a whole lot about the modified and everything. Tell us what kind of deal you got going on over on that side.
So it's kind of a neat thing, because it wasn't really planned, which that's kind of been the story of my life here lately when it comes to racing. Is every time I try to plan something, it goes sideways. So I've kind of just been driving off the hood pins a little bit. But so Randy Renfro that has handled the Coulter Motorsports side of all the stuff we do with super late models on pavement, pro late models and stuff like that. He called me one day and he said, "Hey, what do you think about getting a modified?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, Randy. I don't know a single thing about those cars other than the tires have got to be a lot more expensive."
There you go.
For sure.
And he's like, "Well, I got one here that I can get a hold of, for a decent price. It's the chassis is a couple years old, but it's never been put together. It's never been raced." And I was like, "Well, if you think it's a good deal, then let's go for it." And this was when the Smart Tour was just starting to reorganize. So he got it, put it together, and we shook it down at Hickory one evening, and then took it to Florence late last year to race it, and we ended up setting the track record, winning the race first time out in the car. And I fell in love with it. The series has continued to grow, and I think they're doing a great job building it. They're probably getting too much feedback from everybody involved in it, driver-wise, but that's our jobs to help kind of tweak the rules to our own advantage. But basically this year, Brandon Ward drove the car a couple times and finished second. Ryan Priest was actually in it not too many weeks ago and was really fast, but got pushed into the fence late in the race. But it's been a really successful venture for us so far. And then getting back behind the wheel at Caraway, I felt like we picked up right where we left off. We were fast. And I think at least had the speed to win the race, even though we didn't really put ourselves in position to. We had the speed to get it done. So I've been really, really excited about that. It's nice. It's just, for whatever reason, we've just been able to take off with it. I really don't know why. I'm not sure that I want to find out why, because then we might do the wrong thing. But it's just been awesome, and like I said, the series is growing. I'm excited to hear what their plans are for next year, because I think it's just going to keep getting better and better. For
sure, that's a cool little series they got going on, and a lot of big names and cool names have jumped in cars, and we've seen Bobby Labonte, like you said, Ryan Priest, all them guys jump in those cars and go race. But with the success that the team has had with that car, you don't get the itch to jump in a little more often and try to run a series again, Joey?
Yeah, I definitely like to. It's part of the kind of our ongoing discussions as a whole group is that direction where we should start looking a little bit, just because of the success we've had. And again, it's kind of a new thing, and there seems to be a lot of momentum behind it. But I think there's 5 races left or 6 races left this year, so we're going to try to run as many of them as we can. I think whether it's me or like I said, Brandon Ward's driven a few and has shown interest in driving some more. So we'll see, but it's definitely something we're going to look at continuing.
Good deal. Good deal. I haven't ever really been around a modified a whole lot. I mean, we've seen them race, obviously, but I just never really. I've been around late models, been around everything else in the world, street stocks, whatever else kind of car, but I've never really been around modifieds that much. What is the biggest differences, other than obviously tire width and stuff like that, going from, say, like a late model to a modified?
They're just they like a really angry go-kart. I mean, they're just, it's amazing to me, because I remember after qualifying at Caraway, we ended up qualifying 4th, and it was less than a tenth between 1st and 5th or 6th. Like, all of us were right on top of each other. And I got out of the car and I just looked at Randy. I said, I can't believe where I lost that time. And he goes, "Where'd you lose it?" I said, "The middle of 1 and 2. It's a sharper corner." And I thought for sure that I sailed it in there and rolled the center fast enough. I said, but I still picked the throttle up too soon. And like, the way I coach drivers and stuff is, if you find yourself picking the gas up too soon, that means you can carry more roll speed. And I'm like, I just cannot believe that this car wanted to go through the center of the corner faster than that, because all I've done since I've been here is pick it up and pick it up and pick it up. So the amount of grip that they have on new tires is just unbelievable. And like I was talking to Harold today, I said, I don't know if I can crash one, because I'm so used to driving those dirt cars hard to the point where I crash them. This thing's got so much grip, I feel like I'm just going to go straight through the racetrack.
They're absolutely wild, but the harder you drive them, the more you get out of them, and it's what makes them so much fun, I think.
I can see that. Things are.
That would be a blast.
And I'm gonna go back out in and edit out that part where you said I don't think I can crash one, because I don't want to put that out there, man.
Yeah, it's just I know that sounds crazy, but that's just the feeling that you get, because I've gotten used to driving cars that have a very obvious limit, I guess you could say.
Right.
Like anything with a smaller tire or that's heavier, not that low to the ground. Like, those cars just have so much going for them grip wise, where everything else I've driven, like the dirt car doesn't have a lot of grip because it's on dirt. A late model doesn't have that much grip because it doesn't have the tire. It's got a higher CG and they're a little heavier. This it's the only thing it's missing is a wing on the top, but
That's right.
I don't think they make springs big enough to hold them off the ground if you did put a wing on them. So, I mean, they're so extreme in the amount of grip that you get. And then they still got enough horsepower where you can light the rear tires up. So they're just a lot of fun. I mean, it's funny because I got asked that question a couple times over the weekend, and I feel like my answer really should be, well, I'm not sure yet, because I've only done it twice.
yeah, but it seems to be working out pretty well.
yeah, it is, and that's, again, it's kind of like if it ain't broke, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I'm making sure I'm kind of metering myself in how much I try to figure out, because I think if I get to knowing too much, that's about when I'll start breaking it. So, but it's just been fun, and like I said, we've had things go in our favor. That deal at Florence, I've never had a weekend go that way as long as I've raced. So it's just kind of neat to have it happen like that, and then to have another good run at Caraway where we were one of the 3 fastest cars, the whole weekend, and finishing on the podium was really cool.
That's awesome, man. And like you said about the whole tour there. I'm glad they got that tour up because we kind of missed. We never had modifieds here really around the southeast. Not to that extent that they are now. It was kind of a northeast thing, and they're kind of moving on down here, and they're pretty cool. I like them. The first time I was really close to one, I guess you say, was down at New Smyrna.
Right.
We were down there with Derek and stuff, and I stood by one. I was like, I did not realize these things were this low and this small looking.
Oh, I know. It's like a foot off the ground. I was like, way down there.
Yeah. Like it looks like it. I mean, it really does. You talk about how wide it reminds me of a Indy car, but the motor's up front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all that tire.
Yeah.
I was like, God, this thing's crazy. And they move.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like it's funny because they're hard to get in because they're so low to the ground. You don't swing your leg up and you fall in it. Like, they're just cool. Like I'm excited to hopefully run more of them and get to some different racetracks just to see how they act when you get to an even faster track. Because Florence was kind of slow because of the tire wear. Caraway's pretty fast, but it's a paperclip, so you're dropping a lot of corner speed. But like Dominion's on the schedule for later in the year, and that's one that I've got circled about 100,000 times. So
there you go.
Because that place, I know they're absolutely going to haul the mail there. So I'm going to try really hard to not miss that one.
There you go. I've never been to Caraway myself. You ever been, Sterling?
I have not.
No. Everybody I've talked to, they always say they like Caraway. What you think about it?
It's a neat little racetrack. It's actually one of the few places that I think you can go to tune up for something like Martinsville. Martinsville is always one of those places that it's hard to go find something like it because there just isn't. But Caraway, straight away to corner shape wise, it's almost the same. It's got a little more banking. Right. But it's a good racetrack for tuning up for something where you really got to slow down and then get turned and speed back up. I can't remember when it didn't get like a complete repave, but it got redone a good bit. And since then it's still been a great place to race. It was multiple grooves. Like we were too wide for a long time. It's a little bit narrow, but that's part of what makes it fun. It's a good track. It's one of the better ones, I think, around this part.
Sweet, man. That's awesome. It's awesome deal. Well, I know you said you had Dominion scheduled or circled anyway on the schedule. Anything else circled coming up here soon?
We're talking about, it's not a done deal yet. We may try to run the Cars Tour throwback race at Hickory at the end of this month. But we'll just have to see schedule-wise how that works out. Again, I'm trying not to plan it so that it has a chance of working.
There you go.
But yeah, that's kind of the next thing. And then the Ray Cook Southern National Tour, the Schaefer's Oil Tour, is getting ready to kick off within the next couple weeks. So we may be able to pick up a couple of those while that's going on, but just taking it one thing at a time right now.
I love that tour.
Yeah, it's great.
It really is. I just wish they'd bring a couple tracks a little closer to us over here. but it's a really good tour. I love watching it. That's always cool. So that's cool, man. Well, any of your drivers that you've had out there, how are they doing here lately? What you been on the phone with them even while you've been out of the house, out of the normal office?
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's really neat. I actually got to go meet a lot of them and work with a lot of them last week at Summer Shootout. There's a bunch of them practicing tonight, and they're racing again tomorrow. I think it's round 5. But it was really neat to go be able to work with them in person, because a lot of the way that my company Driver Find works is I built it all to work remote, so that it didn't cost drivers a plane ticket and a pit pass to get high quality driver coaching. So it was neat to be able to go meet them all in person and work with them a little bit and see things a little more, live action, so to speak, rather than on a GoPro video. So it was really cool. They're all doing good. Everybody's improving every week, which I told them You know, if you don't feel like you're in position to win the points at the end of it, just wherever you start, end better. You know, that's the whole thing is improving every week, because you get, I think, I can't remember how many rounds it is. I should know, but you know, basically you get 10 shots at the same racetrack. You don't really get that very often. So improve every week and just keep building your notebook better and better, and learn something. If you can walk out of every one of those races learning something, you're going to be a better driver when you leave there. So far everybody's done a really great job.
Your driver refine program there, are you you kind of have a set number of drivers that you want to work with, or is it something you're taking on more drivers, or how's that working out?
Yeah, I'm still taking on more drivers. The deal that I got going with the Legends drivers is kind of a special deal we put together with Joe Ryan Racing, and Candace Hornaday and Ron Hornaday are involved. So that's kind of how that deal came together. But yeah, I'm still taking on clients. I feel like I'm approaching sort of that upper limit, because at some point I don't want to take away from anybody. I want to make sure that everybody's getting the best that I can give them coaching wise. And but yeah, so far I'm still taking on clients, and it's our philosophy is, you know, we built it to work any kind of car, any racetrack, any level of experience. It's all about optimization and taking whatever you have and making the best out of it.
There you go. That sounds like a perfect plan there.
That's it.
This is what I think you need to do, though. You talk about, you know, working with Ron Hornaday some. I think you need to, you know, step back and coach these a little bit, these guys, and then let them talk to Ron Hornaday also, and just see what they come away with there, because that's going to be something wild probably they get from him.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And it's funny, Ron and I have talked, you know, quite a bit, and it's just it's funny because I remember when I started stock car racing, I was 16, and the way that people looked at my parents when we showed up to race a full-bodied stock car at 16, everybody's like, "Y'all are stupid. You don't love your kid." And Ron and I were talking about it, you know, like I grew up watching him race and win. And, you know, when I got to the truck series level, it was the way that I got brought up racing. Like, I was expected to go earn that guy's respect. And it's just different because things are moving so fast now that you don't have a lot of those veteran, basically you've gotten to the point where you have veteran cup drivers. But even then, things change so fast, you don't get that same level of veteran driver anymore. So what I'm realizing is what I'm having to teach a lot of these kids is a lot of that old school, what I call racecraft, where you got to take an eighth of the amount of experience and go beat Ron Hornaday. It's not impossible, but it's hard.
Yeah.
And
Right.
But before you even do that, you got to go earn his respect, because if you beat him and you haven't earned his respect, that probably means you ran him over once or twice.
That's it.
And that's not the guy you run over.
No.
So it's been really fun, and it's just neat because I told Ron, I said, I'm starting to feel like an old guy because I'm saying old guy race car driver stuff now, like back in my day or way back when, you know. But it's been really cool, and again, just to see them improve, all these kids improve week to week, and start picking up on the vocabulary and just using the techniques where I can see them use the techniques. It's really cool.
Yeah, I could definitely understand that. You talked about respect there a little bit on the track. Do you feel like that's something that's missing a little bit nowadays, or that has gone away some, is driver respect for each other?
Yeah, I think it's missing some. And again, some of it is, I think you don't have you don't have really a Frank Kimmel of the ARCA series anymore. You don't have the Ron Hornadays and the Todd Bodines, and, you know, like, you got Johnny Sauter and Matt Crafton, but that's, you know, it's kind of down to 2 or 3 out of 30 trucks now.
Right.
The Xfinity series is completely different. And then even the Cup series has changed a lot. So almost anywhere you look around, it's just a little bit different. But that's the fun part about racing. It never stays the same. But the other part of it is and Ron and I joked around about this, but soft wall and comfy seats, that it makes it a little bit easier to crash. So you don't pay for it near as much. And fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, there's not a lot of younger drivers that are working on their cars the way that previous generations worked on their stuff. I know I stopped tearing quarter panels up when I started building quarter panels.
Exactly.
And it's just, again, it's different. With the way things work, you can go get in different race cars for different people, based on sponsorship and dollar amounts and things like that. And again, that's the way the sport's evolving right now. But I think the ones that do race with that level of respect and try to earn it from their other drivers, I do think those are the ones that get the farthest.
That's right, and seem to become the most successful in it. Yeah, exactly. You just mentioned, moving into truck series and stuff like that. I want to run something by you real quick just to get your reaction, see what you think about it. Our other part-time co-host on here, Derek Griffith, he just got to call up to go run for a team you're familiar with. He's going to run a one-off race with KBM there at Gateway. Going into something like that after, the highest level he's run is ARCA series, mostly running late models. What kind of advice would you give somebody like that?
I would highly encourage him to pick up the phone and call Driver Find. No,
there you go. There you go.
No, I think Derek's he's obviously he's got a lot of natural talent. He's great in the late model. I think he's done spectacular in those ARCA cars, obviously. But yeah, he's going to a track that I think is going to be right up his alley. That place is, it's a big track, but it races a lot like a short track, the way that you approach it. So I think, obviously he's going to be with a good team. He's going to have as good a shot as anybody, I think, as long as, nothing crazy happens. So, I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah,
I think he will too. That's one thing that would kind of worry me. Though, not worry, but you know what that truck's capable of. So when you go there, you're pretty much expected to put it in victory lane, pretty much. So it's not like you're taking a 10th place car and trying to finish 5th, 6th, 7th with it. You got a winning race truck there. So he's definitely got to kind of keep that in mind too. That's got to be a lot on his shoulders, man. That's a really good opportunity for him.
Yeah, it is. And at the end of the day, though, like if I was talking to him, you can have a lot of things. You can do everything right, and somebody's hot dog wrapper gets on your grill and you overheat, blow the motor.
Right.
Yep.
There's so many things that can happen that, yeah, it is a great opportunity, and you definitely have to be on your game to take advantage of it. But you can't overthink it and not give yourself a little bit of room to think, okay, something can ruin my day that I can't do anything about. And again, like, it sounds crazy to well, why in the world would you even think about it? It's like because if you put that mark down in your head that these are the things that I can control, and if I control all of these things and do them all right, then I'm going to have the best day I can. But that line separates that from all the stuff that isn't under your control. If somebody runs you over on a restart, it's not, well, I had a bad race. Like, you got run over. But that, like I said, that delineation of the things you can control and the things you can't are what make or break those one-off races, right. I think. Because I've seen it with ARCA drivers, guys that come up from late models and they get one shot in an ARCA race. It's the same kind of thing where it's like, do everything you can right and make sure that if you did it right, if you did it wrong, regardless of what the outcome. I worked with a driver. We went and tested an ARCA car, went fast, went back for the race. He qualified good. The window net fell down at the beginning of the race.
Damn.
They went 2 laps down working on the window net because obviously you can't start the race without a window net up. And results-wise, it absolutely ruined his night. But it it took the gas out of him, I think, a little bit, and it kind of burnt him out. But it's like, man, it wasn't under your control, you know. And that again, it's just an example of why I think it's important to keep that line of what you can and what you can't control.
Well, I think Derek fortunately figured that out at Daytona when which is somewhat I think how he got this ride here going into Gateway when he got taken out by his own teammate leading at Daytona in the Harker car. So I completely get what you saying there. I mean, that's crazy. So that's cool, man. Well, dude, as always, it has been great having you on here and having some fun for a little while, and we definitely appreciate you coming on here as always, man. It's fun.
Yeah. Thank you all for having me as always, and I'll be sure to let you know when we get the next race marked down on the calendar.
Definitely so, and we will be talking to you real soon. We'll have a safe trip back to Texas there, and don't let that dry heat get you like this, you know, this non-breathable heat over here.
Right, yeah. Well, I'll do my best. I'll probably just stay inside.
There you go. All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Yep. Thanks a lot. You too.
Hi, bud.
Want to thank Joey Coulter coming on here as always. Man, that's pretty good stats in a modified. Go out 2 races and have a first and a third.
you batting pretty good there, that's for sure.
Pretty good average.
Hey, man, that might be his. I'd like to see him run the full tour and see what he could do with it, and you know, having more seat time in that thing ain't do nothing but help him. So, but yeah, he's rolling pretty good in that thing, that's for sure.
For sure. And as you just heard on there, I know we hadn't talked about it yet. We cat came out the bag last week. Our buddy Derek Griffith is going to KBM for one race, like we said there, Gateway, or was it Worldwide Technology Speedway now? I think is what it is. Going to run a one-off race as of right now for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
Yep, and the number 51.
In the number 51 truck. So
Hudson Speedway come on in a big way, obviously. I don't know what all, how that went on and went about, but I know JBL is a part of that sponsorship, which I don't know if
that's a team
always
sponsor,
on that car. But yeah, so we appreciate Hudson Speedway for coming on, helping him out, and getting him in that good of a ride. It's gonna be definitely huge for him, and I just hope his brakes go better, like we talked about with Joey. There is, you don't never know what you can't control. You can't control for sure,
especially at that track. That's always been a track that just some wild stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
happens. If you're out front, you're normally pretty good, but some wild stuff tends to happen at that track for some reason. Yeah. I guess just because there's so much track so flat and straightaway so long and corners pretty tight. There's a lot of on brake time, which is really good for Derek. I think.
What I'll say. I think Joey was on point there when he said that this track's going to kind of suit. I think it's going to suit him very well because he's run these late model tracks. It's a lot of brake time, flat, whatever. That's going to suit him pretty well for sure. So, really looking forward to that, and I hope it goes better than it did in Daytona, which it went well for
it was going great.
little bit of time that he was on the racetrack, but he shot up there real quick and was doing a great job in that good ride he had there. So hopefully he can do the same thing. And like we said, he's not going to have you're not going to have any better equipment than what he's going to be in. So hopefully he can take full advantage of that and turn some big heads there.
Yeah, we'll have Derek on here in a few weeks. We'll talk about it here within the next couple of weeks anyway. We'll talk about it and get his views on it. I know he's got to be excited about it. So congratulations to our other part-time co-host, Derek Griffith.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the phone again. This is the first guest I think we've had 2 weeks in a row, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. It's pretty good for us, huh?
We are going to announce her as our new, I guess we'll call it pit reporter, interviewer, whatever you want to call it. The socialite in the pits. That works. Socialite. Melissa Scarpati. Melissa, what's up?
What's up, guys?
I don't know it. So you're gonna come on with us and help us out a little bit and and go talk to some of these drivers down in the pit, or not just drivers, everybody down in the pits.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I'll be up in Jersey for the most part, but I have some other plans on going some other tracks up north, and obviously I'll be down south too, come November. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That sounds good. That's great for us because we can't make it up north that much, and so
we can't make it down south.
We can't make it down south that much either. It's hard to get away from home, no. But that's gonna be cool. And coming up, we just talked about it. Your first assignment isn't even at the track. It's gonna be at Wings Etc. here Wednesday night in Gaffney.
Yes, it is.
There's
down here in Carolinas, and looking forward to going and talking to some of the guys and getting a little interviews going. My buddies down there.
Your buddies. see, she just started, really this year, really getting into late models, and she's already made friends with Scott Bloomquist, friends with Kyle Strickler and Chris Ferguson and all them. But
maybe I need her to do my hair because it ain't working.
Maybe so. Can you cut our hair while you're down here?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
hey, better watch out. I might move in on your territory. Come down.
I'll
cut everybody's hair.
There you go. There you go.
I go to Sports Clips, so I don't think they care too much.
Come on.
Yeah, my hair's pretty simple, so it's just buzz, like a number 2 and then a number 1, so you can't really mess it up a whole lot.
I'm just trying to get them to get something like Mav TV on there now, or Flow Racing or something like that, so we can watch some racing in Sport Cliff at least. Do you do that in your salon? You watch racing, or you have mostly women to come in there and they don't want to watch that stuff?
My business is about 50-50. But yeah, no, I have freaking Ariado racing news, newspapers and magazines and all types of racing stuff. Pictures
Sweet.
of my race car up at the shop. And like TV, it depends. Sometimes I just listen to music, put on like Pandora on there, or put whatever.
Well, maybe you need to franchise out and get one down here and be focused on racing.
Yeah,
exactly.
There you go. Well, cool deal. Well, Melissa, we appreciate you coming on with us now, and gonna be a staple on especially our Facebook account. Y'all will find her. She will be doing a lot of Facebook Lives, and who knows what else. You will see her at some tracks here and there. She's going to be, like we said, over at Wings Etc. in Gaffney, South Carolina on Wednesday night. So we appreciate it, Melissa.
All right. Thank you so much. I will, I'll keep you updated, and we'll have some Facebook posts on Wednesday.
There we go. Well, cool deal. Y'all be watching out for her, and y'all will be hearing a lot from her. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Melissa Scarpati there. Y'all going to be hearing a lot more from her here on Chicken Bone Alley.
Yeah. She's going to be...
Something about it, you just got to say it all weird. Just Chicken Bone Alley.
You do good at that. I'm not so much as good, but you're pretty good at that. Maybe Melissa will be a little better than that at it. We'll see, but
she'll probably say it like a normal person,
more than likely. Yeah,
as I should.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, looking forward to that. For her getting up there and hanging out at. It's gonna be neat. I think it's gonna be really cool for her to get a different, because I think the drivers are be open to talk with her a little bit more about just everyday stuff. So it'll be really neat.
She's an outgoing person.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that's gonna be really cool to hear. Kind of the away from track talk, maybe. See what all these drivers and whoever else is up to, man. It's gonna be really cool. But yeah, she's got making some good relationships up there with the drivers and teams. So it's definitely gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, y'all hear from her whenever she's able to be at the track. She's at the track a lot, but whatever race she's going to, kind of like us, just whatever she shows up to, that's what you're going to hear about.
That's it.
Which is what we like to do. We don't tie ourselves down to one particular thing most of the time.
No.
It's just go for it. Just talk about racing. But we wouldn't have ever got hooked up with her if it wasn't for our buddy Randy Keene up there, who suggested we talk to her. Up there with SRI Performance, Team SRI. We always appreciate SRI Performance coming on here and hanging out with.
Oh yeah, for sure. They take care of us. Definitely Randy does a lot to help us, and SRI does as well, and they do that for all of the racers out there too, man. They take care of everybody and on and or at the track and away. Like we always say, they got everything in the world you can name related to racing at all. They're in stock, ready to ship out, and they ship out and get it to you quickly. So definitely the best place to go to get anything you need for your race car.
For sure. And like Sterling said, they are ready to ship out as soon as you order. So what you need to do is go online there or call them in store. But you can go online to sriperformance.com, get you a whole cart of goodies up, get it up. Then when you get there and get ready to check out, go to a promo code spot there and put in promo code CBONE10. That is C as in
Chicken.
BONE10. Get yourself 10% off at time of checkout there. That helps out some there. I know our buddy Kel Maben.
Oh yeah.
he
got some shocks.
He called him the other day. Now he got some springs.
Got
some Draco springs.
Some purple springs.
Some purple springs for his legend car, and he called and ordered another one and told him to stick that promo code on there and gave him another 10% off.
Can't beat it.
Not with a stick. But also, guys, head over to when you're ready to rebuild that car, make it look pretty again. Head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Get yourself some materials to work with there. And get that car pretty. And as Kel did, check out the Draco Springs over there on SRI's website. Get what you need. Get you a good selection. So, the track's a little bit different each night. You can tune her up. Faux show. Also want to thank our buddy Earl Ramey.
Man, he's in Hawaii, but what is he doing?
I mean,
finally getting him a break.
He
has got to go, I don't know, 10 hours away from North Carolina so he can get a break.
10 hours, yeah, by flight, yes. 10 hours.
Well, I say by
probably.
flight.
I don't know. It's
pretty sure he ain't driving to Hawaii, so that's why
he didn't want to go over that bridge. It's a long bridge.
Yeah, nah. I don't think I would either. But
I wonder if he's going to convert his money over to Hawaiian money.
Hey, I thought it was the same as here money, but
that was a Jeff Foxworthy joke back in the day. He was talking about his uncle. I kept asking him. They went on a trip, and he said his uncle kept asking, "When are we going to convert our money to Hawaiian money?"
Well, he might be trying to find where he can convert over there. There's no telling with him, but no, man. Like you say, hats off to them guys. They need them a break as much as they do for their customers and their clients, whatever. They take care of them for sure and give them the absolute best horsepower they could ask for and the best customer service, I guess, if you will, that you could ask for as well. So, yeah, man, if you need some horsepower, go see him.
Go check him out. And when you get that motor slapped in the car there, go call him up and say, "Hey, man, I want to run this thing on your chassis dyno." He'll schedule you up some time there to run it and try different oils, try different fans, try every different thing you can think of on the car, clutches, whatever else you can change there, and see what you can get the most horsepower to the wheels with.
Faux show.
So go check out Earl Ramey Racing Engines today. All right, guys, speaking of Earl Ramey Racing Engines, I want to bring something up real quick. I sent this out to, first of all, it's going to our last season competitors first, but we have, we've not finalized all our tracks and stuff yet, but we have pretty much finalized our deal for our 2021 Summer Shootout Series on iRacing. Chicken Bone Alley's going to put up some a good series this time. Good series.
Yeah. Well, I think we learned a lot.
We did
from the first one that we did, and we had a lot of. I mean, I think it went pretty good for the first time. I mean, getting the people that we had on, and thanks to them, and pretty good sized field every week, and the sponsors came aboard and helped us out there, and we were able to have a pretty good purse for that first deal, but we definitely got a lot more help this time around. So yeah, man, I think it's going to be. I feel sure that the whoever wins the points will like it. That's for sure.
They definitely are, because as y'all just heard it, Earl Ramey there, EMFR Performance and Grease Monkey Garage Mooresville have come on. I hope y'all guys are sitting down, ready for this. Just on iRacing. Our little 8, it's going to be an 8-race series. They have come on as our presenting sponsors for the Summer Shootout. Your winner is going to take home at least, it could be more at this point, but they will take home at least $1,000.
Yes, sir.
To sit in their underwear and race on iRacing.
Hey, well, I don't even care where you at. You go run for $1,000. It's pretty good. But yeah, to do it on iRacing, man, 1 day a week for 2 or 3 hours, whatever it's going to be, you can't beat that. So I probably will not be taking home that the championship there, but hopefully I can place somewhere pretty good up in there. We'll see. But yeah, we'll have some good guys on there with us, and kind of like we did last year, we're gonna make it. It's gonna be a fixed setup, whatever. It's gonna be a lot of different tracks. I mean, different cars with different tracks, so it's gonna be a little, not the normal. And it's kind of what we don't want to do. We don't want to have the normal. So it'll be a little different, and we'll see what happens, man.
For sure. I also want to thank Palmetto Machine and Fabrication coming on with us. Northeast Auto Imports, our buddy Derek Griffith, his business coming on, putting some money in. Also, another podcast. Y'all need to go check them out if you haven't already. We've talked with them on here before. Blood Eagle Racing Podcast. Check them guys out. They've come on with us for some more sponsorship money there. Trying to pay back through the field. Also, SRI Performance coming on here. BS Racing, our buddies up in Ohio running that GNCC quad there. They going to come on and help us too. Am I missing anybody?
Normally we don't have this problem because we don't have 27 sponsors. So, but yeah, if he did miss anybody, I apologize for him, because I really don't know, but there's a pile of them.
Yeah,
hard to keep up with how many that we have. But that we will be talking about a whole lot more, and we'll definitely be letting everybody know who all comes on here to help us for sure. But yeah, man, like you said, we're gonna try to pay back as far as we can, within reason. I think we did 5 spots last year. 10 spot, or we do 10 spot. I can't remember.
But regardless, we did pay that much. We will. I will say we weren't really limiting last time, which we didn't have a problem with limiting. If y'all want to get in the series, you may be sure to email us at chickenbonealleypodcast@gmail.com. Let us know, because we will be limiting this one to 45 entries, just to not make everything take all night.
Yeah, and I don't know, we haven't talked about it completely, but whether heat races or qualifying or whatever it ends up being, probably start 30, I would assume.
Most time, yeah.
Depending on the track, I guess, but try to start 30, and so there'll be some people going home each week. Hopefully.
It's probably gonna be me.
It's probably gonna be me as well, but I think that'd be cool. So, but I want to make it to where it's worthwhile to do it, and it's exciting, and everybody can get on there and have a good time with it, and we're gonna have us a broadcaster this time, thankfully.
Soak Tires Broadcasting.
So we appreciate them for helping us out, and but thankfully we're gonna have that where David can actually compete too, and try to get us some admins to help out too. So, but trying to race for that much money, everybody's got to try to race clean because, I don't know, like we talked about it before, but that black and white call, it's I don't know. Hopefully everybody will race clean. We won't have to worry about it too much. But
Well, I'm just letting y'all know this time it's out of our hands.
that's right.
We're gonna be a competitor just as much as you are. So if we get black flag, we get black flag. But so it's completely out of our hands this time. And we will. It's gonna be a fun series. A little more. Last one was good. I think this one's gonna be a little more organized.
Oh yeah. Well, we all learn every time, so we'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be really neat, man. It is, and the different tracks and the different cars that we're gonna try to put together there. I think we're gonna not really release a schedule. So it's gonna kind of be a more of a surprise, more or less, to everybody, even us. But we're gonna look into that too. So there'll be some more things to build from there, but we'll see what happens.
Yep, it's going to be fun. So if you want to get in on it, be sure, like I said, send us an email to chickenbonealleypodcast@gmail.com. What I told everybody on there is send us your name. Make sure that name is the iRacing name, because I know some people have a name. But anyway, and then send us your iRacing account number. Give us 3 options of what you want your car number to be.
83. I was the first one. I said it.
There you go. He said it. He's unpicked. And entry fee will be $25 this year. $25 for a chance to win 1,000. Sounds pretty good to me.
Can I borrow some money?
I'll spot you. I give you a case quarter.
That's right. Yeah, you can't beat that, man. $25 entry fee. You ain't got to go out and buy tires. You ain't got to go out and buy fuel. You go race. So
that's right. And all that money from the entry fees, guess what, guys? Going to be going right back into the purse. We ain't making $1 off of it regardless. So
nah, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna put it all back in there. So like you said, $1,000 to win the series. We're not gonna pay anything for winning the races.
Nope.
As we did earlier in the first one, we're not gonna do that. So hopefully that'll kind of keep everybody wanting to come back each week to get in that placing for some money, and depending on how much we can get there, we'll see how far we pay back. But
yeah, as soon as the season starts and we get all our entries in, we'll know exactly how far we're paying back. And we had to wait a little while into the last series to see what we were going to be able to pay, and fortunately the first series went good, and so we've been able to step up our game, I guess you'll say.
Oh yeah, for sure. Most definitely. It's it kind of worries you because you get this and then what's going to happen next time? But anyway, it's really cool that we can continue to go up, and we appreciate everybody coming on and helping us out and making this thing work.
For sure. So y'all get ready to have some fun on it, and we will too. Definitely be sure to have some fun and all that good jazz. Real quick, guys, going from fun news to not fun news at all. It's always a bad day. I want to send out our thoughts and prayers for sure to the family of Paul Ballinger. There was apparently a pretty bad accident over at Hartwell Speedway in Georgia this past weekend, and from what I understand, he got hit by a car, and a couple other people got hit by a car. But anyway, Paul Ballinger did not survive that, so we send out our thoughts and prayers to his family, to the racetrack, to the whole racing community over there.
Yeah, for sure, man. You don't ever want to see that. You don't ever know, man. And any tracks we go to, you always, I always kind of look where my surroundings are, but you don't ever know, man. You
Crazy things happen at racetrack.
Yeah, for sure. So, but I like you say, man. I mean, we definitely praying for them, and you don't never know. You just don't never know. You don't never know what kind of situation you'll be in. So, not that they weren't, but anybody that's listening that you at a racetrack, make sure that you know your surroundings as best you can, and especially where your kiddos, if you got them with you, make sure you got a escape route if possible, always, because you don't ever know.
Well, you sure don't. Now, from what I understand, there was like a 9-year-old boy that was also hit in it, and someone else. So praying for the other 2 that were injured also. Praying for them and their families. Hope they have a speedy recovery too. So going from that, there was a good bit of racing over the weekend. There was all kind of little races here and there and everywhere and this, that, and the other. And old T-Mac saw one up at Muskingum County Speedway there in Ohio with the that was Lucas Oil race, wasn't it? Yeah, that was Lucas race. So he's kind of had a I'm gonna say he's kind of had a little bit of an off year this year, in my opinion. From what he's done the past couple years, anyway.
He always seems wonderful when it's cold outside. I don't know. I always noticed that. Like early in the season, when it's cooler nights, he always runs really well. But yeah, he seems like he's in a little bit of a slump right now. But there again, man, that competition's so daggum tough. It's hard to stay on top all the time. And we talk about Overton and whoever else that just has certain times of their ups. But T-Mac will be back for sure. But glad to see him get that win and maybe get that off his back and go get him some more.
Yeah. It's always a strong team he's got there to they bounce back. Always do. So maybe he's on the up now. Buddy that we had on here a few weeks back put up some pretty good nights this past weekend. Max Blair, I think he took home like 3 wins, counting his crate car and everything else. He don't go to a track and run one race.
No, he just be running, man.
He just like, y'all got a crate class. I brought my Super, but y'all got a crate class too? Yeah, let's run it too. I get in it and go win it. He's that boy's a wheel man.
Yeah, for sure. He is. He really is. I look for that car to do good things next year when they can run that, tour there. And they look really good when we were there with them at Eldora, and top-notch stuff, man. So, yeah, they'll be on their game for sure.
For sure. Oh, Zach Dome, he took him home $20,000 yesterday, and I'm sorry, the there we go. I just went blank on where it was at. I was at Beckley, the Beckley USA 100. Just had a brain fart, I reckon. But anyway, $20,000 on a what was that, a Monday? He did that. That's a pretty good paycheck.
Oh yes, sir.
No, that was Sunday. That was on July 4th. Thought so. That track, Beckley, it's Beckley, West Virginia. They've come on here lately. I've heard of a lot of big races going on that track. Never been there myself. Pretty tight looking track, pretty cool looking track. I kind of like it. I know our guys with Grassroots Sports TV, they were all over it. I think they aired that show. Or $20,000 win at Beckley. And speaking of Grassroots Sports TV, 2 weeks, guys. Big show coming up here at the dirt track at Charlotte. The Carolina Sizzler. Throwdown in Crown Town.
It's going to be a big one, man.
It's going to be fun. A lot of racing coming on over there. I think they got 6 or 7 classes of races. Mostly late models, but they're street stocks and 4-wheel drives. Also, front-wheel drives, not 4-wheel drives.
That'd be cool, too.
That'd be a cool class. Maybe that's what I need. But front-wheel drives, I think might be SCDRE type cars anyway, are going to be running at the dirt track at Charlotte. We don't see a whole lot at dirt track at Charlotte. And I know the Ultimates were supposed to run over there a few weeks ago, and they had to end up canceling that. But this looks like it is good to go. 2-day show. Saturday and Sunday coming up there. $20,000 win. Super late model show there also.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good, man. I'm ready to see that. Like we've been saying before, you know, I kind of wish they'd have a big event there quite a few times during the year, but we take full advantage of when we can get up there and see them.
For sure. Well, cool. Well, that's gonna be fun. Cup stuff this past week. Speaking of Charlotte and moving over to the Cup track, good entry to it. They were out on some road courses this past week, or a road course. Road America out there in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Running and go figure, Kyle Busch went out there on Saturday, run the Xfinity race, and got his 101st Xfinity Series win.
Yeah, that's pretty much expected, I guess. But yeah, if I listened to him the week before, he wanted to get out there and get some seat time at that track, and it paid off for him. And not that we were really surprised at that, but it's a long track, man. I think it's 4 miles.
Yeah, I think that big.
Yeah, it's pretty good size road course. So I like it, man. It's cool.
It was cool. Cool racing from what I saw. And it always seems to have a little bit of fuel mileage game there, and you don't want to play fuel mileage there. And it may not always be at the end of the race. It'll be like through the middle of the race. All of a sudden you see these guys trying to make it another lap on fuel, and that's a long track to try to gain a lap of fuel.
Well, you definitely don't want to try to stretch one more lap.
No.
If you run out somewhere, you got a long way to go.
You probably won't ever make it.
No.
So it's always cool. But anyway, go figure. Chase Elliott won him another road course on Sunday.
Yeah. I know Kyle Busch was strong too there.
Yeah.
I think from what I saw, and I think Kyle Larson was up in there and all, but yeah, hats off to Chase getting his 7th road course win, man. He's I think he's 3rd now.
Yeah.
1 behind Tony Stewart and 2 behind Jeff Gordon. So it's really cool. I don't think he'll have any problem shattering that record, because he's got a long way to go, and he got to 7 really quick. So, but the difference is there's a whole lot more road courses now than there was back then.
Yeah, there used to be 2 road courses a year. That was it. Watkins Glen, Sonoma. That's done. This year there's 7.
Right.
He could possibly tie Jeff Gordon, I think it is. Let's see, we got
I think it's Indy, right?
road course. Oh no, there's 3 left because there's still the
Roval and Indy, I know.
and a road course Daytona.
Yeah. So yeah.
Because they ran it first of the year, but they're gonna have to run it again. Yeah. So he could possibly. It's gonna be tough to finish out, especially with his teammate Kyle Larson right there on his heels most of the time. He could possibly set a new record this year.
Yep, for sure. Pretty cool, man. I like it. I keep saying it, but I like road courses. I think they're different, and it's cool.
They are most of the time. I'm scared with them running as many as they do. I like the fact, I like Chase Elliott. I don't have a problem with him at all. I kind of like him, and I like the effort he has put into running good at road courses, because that was not his background at all. And he's put in a ton of effort and is showing off. But I don't want it to become, kind of like super speedways are becoming right now. And people are like, well, I mean, they just talk junk about them because there's only a handful of drivers that are good at them. And I thought for a long time it was becoming a lot more drivers that were good at them. But I think them throwing as many more road courses as there is now, those drivers I thought were getting better at road courses, they were just getting good at Watkins Glen and Sonoma.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
because they're not showing anything on the other ones.
no, they're not. But I think they're all starting to realize, look, if we're gonna compete, we got to step our game up at these.
Well, that's 7 races. I mean, that's a lot of points.
Right, for sure. So I think they're gonna have to get to that way, and Christopher Bell's strong. Didn't he win the Roval? I mean Daytona earlier in the year.
No, that was Eric Jones.
Eric Jones won.
Or was it?
I can't remember.
No. Yeah, that was him. I'm sorry. Yeah, Christopher Bell. My bad.
That's another one that's kind
I
of
don't know why I said Eric Jones.
you wouldn't think would be, but it's just all in car control, I guess, man. I don't know. It's so different now. But.
Yeah, but I don't think. Don't get me wrong. He won Daytona. Yes, he did. And just as Joey was talking about earlier, there's a lot of things outside of your control. There was a lot better cars there than Christopher Bell.
Oh yeah,
at the road course at Daytona, a whole lot better cars. But he was there at the end. That's what counts.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about, man. And
Larson was probably the fastest thing on the track until he wrecked.
Oh yeah, for sure. And tough break for Larson this week. I think he's running 3rd or 4th, and his teammate Alex Bowman didn't not have any brakes going into whatever corner that was, and spun him there. All definitely unintentional, but that's just one of the things that happens. But I think he's just 2 points, 3 points,
3 points behind out of the lead
behind Denny Hamlin now. So
I saw a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna stop looking at social media, I swear, especially certain pages. And people on the Kyle Larson page was giving Alex Bowman the devil about hitting him. Oh, he took him out on purpose. Bull crap.
Nah.
It would not have. I mean, other than getting around him, it does Alex Bowman no good to take Kyle Larson out.
No.
So that's ridiculous, people. If you think that, then you really need to study racing a little harder. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I think they just watch to watch and not understand. But yeah, it's just a tough break, man. It happens. But they were strong again.
Oh yeah.
They have been strong for, I can't remember how long it's been now, but we'll I don't see no reason why they would stop now. So
Nah.
they have been dominant. Hendrick cars, I mean, and so you got a pretty good chance that you're going to see more than one Hendrick car in the Final Four.
I'd be almost willing to say at this point in time, if something don't change, now we have seen it many years, all of a sudden they go in them last 12 races, and it's like people that weren't even strong to begin with, all of a sudden just boom, they're right there.
Right.
But at this point in time, I could see 3 Hendrick cars in the Final Four.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly 4 if they get the right.
Dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine the whining if 4 Hendrick cars made it?
Jesus.
Oh, man, that'd be crazy. But yeah, it could definitely happen, man. They're on the game right now, and hats off to them. Shoot. I mean, go get it.
Yeah, for sure. News this past week. I don't think we talked. This wasn't out last week about Ganassi, was it? We didn't talk about that, did we?
No.
Chip Ganassi sold out. We were talking about, and that's the funny part. We were talking about charters and stuff, and Chip Ganassi sold his entire operation to Trackhouse.
That was probably a hefty price tag.
I'm gonna say probably so.
I mean, that was a lot. 'Cause they sold everything. They sold shop,
Everything, and they will acquire all of it at the end of this season. Ross Chastain said he found out about it when somebody texted him when it came over social media.
Yeah.
That's kind of I don't know. That's kind of crappy in my opinion. I feel like they should kind of tell the guys that a little bit ahead of time before they put it out on social media, but it is what it is. Kurt Busch says it came out that Kurt was already talking to Trackhouse before this deal even happened. I really thought Kurt was going to retire after this year, but maybe he wants to really try the new car, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know, man. But he's still in his shape wise. He's
Oh yeah,
plenty good. He's older, of course, but I mean he's plenty in good enough shape to run these cars. And
oh yeah.
and his talent level's there, of course. Obviously, I mean he's running good. I think he finished top 5 this weekend. So yeah, go for it.
For sure. So maybe Trackhouse looking for some experience to go along with. I mean, I ain't saying, well, Suarez don't have that type of experience. Maybe they're looking at somebody to become a leader as far as on the team, with a good experience to come over there. But they're not doing bad. I mean, I really thought they'd be a whole lot worse than they are.
Oh, yeah. They are doing really well.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I thought they would be a whole lot worse than what they're doing.
Yeah.
They outperforming Bubba Wallace most weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that because of Bubba Wallace. I'm really not. I'm saying that because that is a Joe Gibbs car. I don't care what they say. They can need 23 XI, whatever you want to call it. That is a Joe Gibbs race car.
Yeah.
Joe Gibbs race cars are expected to be in top 10 every week. They're expected better than that, I think, but top 10 for sure.
Right.
And it's not doing it. And I'm not saying that Trackhouse is either, but they're consistently most time top 15. Top 15 to top 20.
Yeah, Suarez is doing well with it.
So that's
I want to be pretty good next year. I don't know, man.
which I heard somebody talking about the other day. Talking about, Pitbull must really put some money behind it. Let me tell y'all something. Justin Marks wasn't hurting for no money before Pitbull even came on. Justin Marks is still the main owner of this team. Pitbull I think it's more of a face thing.
The entertainment, whatever.
Value of it, yeah. The face value, I guess, for sponsorship.
Yeah.
It was just smart. So I don't think money is hurting them. And I really think that if they're on a level playing field, car-wise, as they should be next year, more level anyway, they're probably going to do a lot better. Especially if they put somebody like Kurt Busch in there who has some, who's just he's a good driver. I don't care. I mean, Ganassi has not showed me anything in the last 5 years, really. So I think, let's see, did Kurt Busch get a win last year? Or he didn't ever?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I want to say Larson was the last person who won for.
Yeah, I can't remember. He might have. I don't know.
I can't remember. But anyway, so interesting to say the least.
Yeah, for sure.
So that opens up narrows down the charter selections there. I know we was talking about who was it? Had the 2 Spire charters and they got bought. That was a colleague. So the charters look like they're pretty much gone for next year.
Yeah. Well, I think somebody talked with Dale Jr. about it, and they were talking about how much the value on the charter was, and it's not known exactly, but someone said it was upwards of $10 million now, and he said that would never happen. He's not doing that. There's no way.
Well, somebody said. Well, I heard one thing they were talking about 10 million. They thought it was around 10 million. Then somebody said it may be closer to 30, depending on what it is.
God,
what you get with it.
That's insane.
It is, but I mean, I hate that they don't show these purses anymore, because if you were willing to spend $30 million, let's go back to the $10 million. If you're willing to spend $10 million on a charter, what are you making out of that? I know you're guaranteeing with a charter. What they're saying is they're guaranteeing these sponsors that they get that they're going to be in the race. That car's going to be in the race.
Well, and two, which I don't really understand, but the NASCAR guarantees a charter car more money.
Exactly. I hate that. That's terrible.
A non-charter car can finish 10th, and a charter car can finish 20th and make more money.
Yeah. That's terrible.
Which I don't like. But I guess that's a part of having you have a barrel, more or less, and making you buy that charter. But there's how many charters is there? 32, I think, or 30? I can't remember.
30, 32, something like that. Yeah,
And then there's 40 spots, I think.
36 spots.
Okay, so
There's only like four non-charters that can potentially make it in the race.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to play out a little different. I think they're going to have to either, if all these teams are coming in like they are, you're going to either have to do away with the charter system, or you're going to have to expand the field back out to 43 like it used to be.
Yeah. And they could. I mean, and all they're going to do is make more money.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you? You know, I see no reason why you couldn't.
No.
You'll probably still have 45, 46 cars show up.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just
Why
going to be
not?
cheaper to run. And if I kind of get the point, I guess, to an extent, why they pay more purse-wise to a charter car than not. Because if you can make just as much money on a non-chartered car as you can a chartered car, why have a charter?
Why have a charter? Yeah. Which was kind of what the Wood brothers, and I think it was until when they decided to go back full-time racing, their first year, they went out with no charter.
Right.
And they were fortunately able to make everything. But that was kind of their deal. But I don't think the differential between, the pay scale was as much when they done that. I think from what I understand, it's gone up. TV contracts have gone up, and so they're paying that back through the field.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know. For sponsors, it's a great thing. For sponsors, it's perfect. The ones that have a charter.
Right.
For the nons, it's awful to some extent. And unless it's been these past couple of years when you didn't have to have a charter, but you still could make it in the race. You didn't have much competition other than that typically Daytona.
Right.
The first race to get into the race because they weren't filling fields. So now that all these teams are saying, "Oh, we're going cup racing, going cup racing, going cup racing," it's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
sponsors going to be tough to come by for non-charter teams.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it will be. And I don't know, man. I'm not saying they won't change something there. They may. They're a lot smarter than us, I guess. So
Well, I mean, they need to. If they get that many, they need to expand the field back out. If they could run 43 back then, there ain't no use in not running 43 now.
no, if it's more cost effective to be able to run a cup car than it is an Xfinity car, I don't blame these teams for going cup racing. I don't.
No.
If you can run for more money with the same amount of sponsorship from Xfinity to Cup, the cars are a lot cheaper. Go do it. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do to expand the field, or have the possibility to expand the field. I don't think we'll ever see 50 cars again show up at a racetrack, but I'd love to be able to see, like you say, have 46, 47 cars show up, and you start 43. And with this new car, there shouldn't be no reason why over half that field can't contend for a win, which is pretty much the way it is now. But I wouldn't see no reason why top 20, 22, 23 cars couldn't go win with this new car. So, I don't know, man.
Faux show. We will see pretty shortly.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to be announcing some rules and all that good stuff. Apparently, with all these teams coming in, they must be already told them something, I would say.
Yeah.
I would definitely say they just hadn't come out quite yet. Anyway, what all we got coming up this week? I know we got
Lucas is going to be in Gaffney.
That is correct.
Thursday night. I think 10,000 to win. Carl Larson's done said he's going. So
It's Cherokee, actually. Well,
it's in Gaffney. I'd
in
say
Gaffney.
that because it's in Gaffney. Cherokee Speedway.
Cherokee Speedway.
I'd
In
call it Gaffney because that's where we know Gaffney. But anyway, yeah, Cherokee Speedway. Thursday night. Unfortunately, we can't go, but anybody that's nearby that area, shoot over there and watch a good race. Pretty cool to see Kyle out there. He might go get him a win, man. You don't never know.
That is correct. And also, guys, one of the, in my opinion, what typically has been one of the best tickets in NASCAR, but it's kind of it's changing up. Well, did they? Yeah, they ran Atlanta earlier in the year. So second round in Atlanta this weekend. With, it's only going to be the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series over there this weekend. It's typically a good race, though. Typically, that's one of the better races on schedule, especially at a mile and a half, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's wore out.
It's past wore out. It's almost a dirt road over there now.
But they love it. I mean, it stretches out. A lot of people don't like it because it stretches out and it's a boring. And it may be a boring race to go watch, sit there in the stands for some people, but I like it. I like seeing the car slip around a little bit and the track slow down as much as it does. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. So Xfinity and Cup in Atlanta. But the race I'm probably going to be paying attention to this weekend, Truck Series at Knoxville.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
That's going to be pretty cool. Our buddy Kyle Strickler going to be over there running it.
I hope he can show out a little bit over there. I know it's got to be tough though. I mean, you going from a truck or from running a dirt car to a asphalt car on dirt. I know it's a lot different.
Yeah, and we have seen in the past that being a dirt driver doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be any better on the dirt in a truck or a cup car, by no means. But what I will say is Strickler ran a truck back at Eldora when they were running trucks there. It's been years back, but he ran one and was running really good in it.
Yep. So
I'm hoping he can head over to Knoxville and do the same thing.
I sure hope so, man. We're going to be pulling for him hard, and he needs something to change his luck around a little bit on the racetrack. He's been catching the devil here lately, so maybe that'll switch him up a little.
Definitely has. Whew. Been tough here lately. We talked to him at Eldora, and man, every time we get out there, something happens.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll change up for him and run good. Have a good run. Good showing out there at Knoxville. Anything else?
I think that'll do it, man. I hope everybody enjoyed their 4th of July weekend break, whatever.
Hope you had extra day off.
Yeah. It's nice when 4th of July is on the weekend, though. So you get...
Or a Monday. Either one.
Right, because having the day...
Friday.
Having the day... It's never good staying up late, popping fireworks, and going to work.
No.
It's not
Which we didn't really stay up... Well, we got home late, but we didn't necessarily stay up late and pop them last night.
No, not necessarily, but...
We were done pretty early.
Yeah, but...
Glad.
Yeah, it was good. We enjoyed it. We sure did. So we'll be ready to get back at it tomorrow, man.
Yep. And come Thursday, we're gonna be weather permitting, if else let it go.
Yeah.
We'll be hitting some softballs maybe.
Yeah, man, I'm
Thursday
ready.
Evening.
I am ready. We went and practiced a little bit today. Got out there. Cole went with us, little boy. He gave me some pointers. He tried to help me out a little bit.
You might need it. I don't know.
I know, man. I'm rusty. I got to get back in the swing of things, literally. But no, it was fun. We had a good little practice. So we like you say, Thursday, weather permit, which I don't.
It's gonna be tough, but
As hot as it was today, though, let it rain. But I'll be fine. We'll practice in the rain, as long as it ain't lightning on us. But
because the cold never bothered me anyway.
Yeah. I would love for it to bring some frozen, some cooler temperatures.
No, not that cold.
Not that cold, but some cooler temperatures would not hurt my feelings a bit. But it's probably going to get, a whole lot more humid.
Oh, yeah.
After that thing comes through like it normally does. But yeah, hopefully everybody's down in Florida area is ready for that. I hope it's not too bad on them people. And I think Tampa, is that where it's supposed to come in? Somewhere along Tampa?
I think so.
So everybody watch out around there. East Bay.
Yeah, and it's the rough side of it, too. Even though it's relatively calm storm, per se, when it comes in on that side, it tends to bring some windier weather with it. So
yeah.
So y'all be watching out for it. But we know down here in the Southeast, we get a tropical storm. That's just, time for a little party.
Yeah.
Category 1's a pretty good party. Start getting Category 2 and 3, though. It's like, all right, calm down.
Yeah, chill out.
I want to keep my lights on. Oh, but anyway, guys, we want to thank our buddy Joey Coulter coming on here and hanging out with us and talking some more racing. And congratulations to him on a third place run there in the Smart Tour Modified. And we appreciate Melissa coming back on again. And y'all be looking out for going live on our Facebook page. Y'all probably see her Wednesday night for sure. So y'all check her out, and y'all check out some racing this weekend. And as always, everybody, we want to thank SRI Performance, as always, helping us out. Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Draco Springs. Our buddy Randy Keene helping us out, as always, hooking us up with drivers and talking to all the people he likes to talk to, which is everybody. So, RK Motorsports Consultant and then Team SRI Motorsports. As always, our buddy Earl Ramey Racing Engines, keeping that horsepower flowing, helping us out every week. Also, Checkered. Y'all check out Checkered, everybody. The social media for racing. You need it. If you don't have it, go get it. It is all racing all the time. That's all it is. Y'all check it out. It's good stuff. Period. That's
Heard.
Period. That's it. You don't get Aunt Debbie, or let's see, I ain't gonna say Debbie. Let's say somebody else. She ain't got no cats over there.
No.
But you don't get Aunt Arlene, Aunt.
All these names that you can't come up.
I can't come up with one.
Only one it is the ones I know. I can't call them out. Yeah,
exactly. I was like, I can't call them out on nothing.
Aunt Wanda.
Aunt Wanda. We can't get Aunt Wanda. I do. You can't get. You ain't looking at Aunt Wanda's cat on there every day, and we ain't talking politics on there. We're talking racing on Checkered. So y'all go check it out. Put on there if you want a micro sponsor. Chicken Bone. Help us out a little bit. We'd appreciate that. Also, Forward Bite Apparel. Y'all go check them out. They got some cool stuff. Old Coltrane put him on. Got his new car rolling pretty good. He's done some wingless stuff here lately. He's been liking it. New paint scheme for him. Kind of same scheme, different colors. He put some pink in it. So that's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, for sure it is.
But they got some cool looking schemes on their website also, all on some cool racing apparel. So y'all go check out Forward Bite.
Yeah, man. RMAX Solution too. Don't forget them. We already told you about Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. So you go get your aluminum, your steel, whatever you need there, and get you some machinery of any sort. Plasma cutters, welders, you name it. They got the CNC plasmas. Anything and everything you could think of. So go check them out. Anything that you may already have, they got parts for it. They can help you get it fixed up there and back to new. Or if you got something you want interested in looking and getting, they can hook you up with some new stuff, some new welders, some new plasma cutters, you name it, or some gently used equipment as well. They'll get it and set it up for you and get you rolling. So don't forget that. That's one thing we all need. We all need some good fab equipment to help take care of these race cars. So check them out.
Faux show. And as always, guys, we appreciate y'all for listening. Because if y'all wouldn't listen, there would be no use in doing it, even though we'd probably still do it. But so we appreciate y'all listening. Like we said on the iRacing deal, if you want to get in on it, make sure to email us at chickenbonealleypodcast@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, which is chickenbonealleypodcast.com, and hit the contact us link there and send us a message telling us you want to get in on the racing, and we'll get you set up. So anyway, guys, we appreciate you, and we will be talking with y'all probably same time, same place next week.
Later.